I will cover a lot of awesome stuff on who we are, what we're doing, and how you can get involved. And then we'll just do a little bit of introductions and conversation and let us know what you're here for, all that good stuff. Before we get started, though, the man, the person behind all this, Rapi, is going to give just a quick introduction and set things off. So, Rapi, you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name's Rapi. I'm the executive director of the Progressive Coders Network. And first, thank you so much for coming in such a 8:30 really cold evening here in New York. I'm a coder based in Queens, and we started this organization because most of us came from the Coders for Sanders organization, and what we really wanted to do there is that there was this non-hierarchical, very self-organizing oriented organization where everyone had so much high energy and high ownership in what they're doing. So that is something that we really wanted to replicate and move forward. And we saw that the power of the coders during the Bernie Sanders campaign was so intense that they were able to create 84 applications worth collectively $1 million in total. And that wasn't something that was spent by the Bernie Sanders campaign, that was used by them. And it really empowered the grassroots. Like, it was used by 30 million people. Like the Bernie Sanders events map was made by me, a volunteer, and it was able to direct hundreds and thousands of volunteers to 100,000 events all around the United States. And it's just an amazing energy. And we saw how technology can really change a campaign or can really empower the grassroots moving forward. So that is something that we wanted to take in as we go forward. And what we realized that technology has the power to change the influence of big money in such a way that it can make it obsolete. So that's the main goal of Progressive Coders Network. The main goal is we have the capacity to make the influence of big money obsolete through open source and free tools or low-cost tools that we can provide to the grassroots. So I'm really excited for you to know all of those things that we're doing, and I'm really excited for you to know all the projects that are going on, all what's happening. I think there's so much attention going on right now, and I'm just glad that you're here right now with Joe. And yeah, so Joe's going to show you the way. Take it away.
Good stuff, man. Thank you very much. And yes, thank you guys so much for joining. It's really incredible seeing 15, 13, 15, 16 people, so many people coming in and spending time that is valuable and that you, I'm sure, could spend in a lot of other ways. And just that feeling of ready to do something and make a difference that I think that a lot of us feel. You being here just really proves that you're willing to go and make that difference happen and demand a difference. And so it's amazing to have you guys and have everybody here. So with that, tonight I'm going to let me know if you do not see my screen. I will otherwise assume that you do. So once I can get my slide working, there we are. Feel free to hop in with any questions, but we'll also do some Q&A and introductions at the end. Would love to hear from everybody on their thoughts, how they want to get involved, any questions, that sort of stuff. But let's get going. So the very first thing that we do is look at the history. I find it's very important to understand how we got to where we are, to know where we're going. So I have a little timeline for us. So we look at the storied history of these United States and the storied history of the planet, really, that by and large, it's really not been the greatest. Our leadership has not been the greatest people. That said, there has been some intermittent hope once in a while, some decent people trying to do good stuff, and, with their whole host of not so great stuff as well. We move forward to what I call the dark ages. Not the greatest time recently for us in our history here of our elected leaders. Around 2008, President Obama, or Mr. Obama at that point, Senator Obama, came around exciting us all with this hope promising a better world, a world full of anti-establishment and all that good stuff. And from there, hope, maybe. I mean, I think Obama will probably go down in history as being probably one of the more productive and progressive and just impactful presidents that we've had. At the same time, is it really all that was billed? Is it all that that we were, sort of promised? Maybe, maybe not. This leads us to the primaries, the contentious Bernie versus Hillary that I think we all remember, and probably more likely than not while we're here. And then Hope actually came forward with Coders for Sanders and the work that Roppy and the group did that he mentioned on building a ton of amazing apps to mobilize the people. One thing that I do want to make sure that we call out early and often is that while I think and imagine that many people will have a probably fairly similar background here, Progressive Coders Network is nonpartisan, non-biased. We want to just make the world a better place. So it's a safe place here for everybody who wants the same things, whether you're a Bernie, Hillary, Trump, whomever supporter. Prog Code is here for you. Then the nomination hit in DNC, and not necessarily the greatest time. Roppy and friends were in Philadelphia on their front lines there. But that did not stop us or slow us down very much, because Prog Code was born from the ash of the Democratic National Convention. And we had hope again. Hooray! The general election hit. And I think pretty much everyone is fairly shell-shocked one way or another of what the outcome was, and sort of not the proudest history of what got us there. Oh, come on, Riley. But now here we are tonight, and tomorrow it's a question mark of what will the future look like. Will it be that hopeful, optimistic future that we've been talking about? That's entirely up to all of us on the call and what we do moving forward. So what is our objective? What are we trying to do here? We like to keep it super straightforward and simple, that currently there is a lot of money, dollar signs, influencing politics, determining what it is that our representatives do from a day-to-day basis. And that's why the call your representative, phone your rep app that we're building is such an important tool, and so many other things just like that. But our goal here is very simple. We want to get that money out of politics, and we do so by just providing the tools and resources and assets that any person, any issue, any campaign would need, whether that is somebody who's trying to run for a local city council or somebody who is trying to run for a national campaign. But we do want to make sure that those people that would have normally been shut out of the democratic process, they have an opportunity and they have an ability to really drive that as effectively as they can. And our strategy, how do we get there? I shared with, I would imagine, everybody the Medium write-up that Roppy did. If not, I recommend checking that out because it details the core goals that we have for progressive coders. At the beginning, middle, and end of the day, what we are is a community, and we are only as strong as the people in the community and the amazing applications, websites, and issues that we support. So the very first thing that we need to do is strengthen that community. Hey, good news. Just by all of you joining this call and talking to us here, we're getting stronger. It's like hitting the gym, but not even leave my computer. It's wonderful. We're becoming a stronger community and a stronger organization, and we're working together. We're breaking down barriers. What I really love about Progressive Coders specifically, and just the apps and the network that we support, is that people they're so open and so ready to do things differently, to put down the blinders where people get so myopically focused on just being about me. And instead we get to be the glue, the connective tissue that brings together all these different efforts, because I think more often than not, even though these efforts are individual, we're sort of all fighting for very similar things. And so that's what really makes Progressive Coders unique and incredible. The next is, of course, once we have that strong volunteer community, enriching the network. So connecting all of you, connecting other people with apps, with different experiences that need help and support. And then finally, using that network, bringing on new people, bringing on new ideas that we can see just born out of Pitch Zone and become real things so quickly. What we think is that as long as we focus on these three and continue bringing about and strengthening this community, that we will be able to really tackle amazing things in new and unique ways. And I'm very excited about what I've seen and where we're going. Of course, that's not it. There's also a number of other things that we're focusing on and thinking about. And one thing I will say is that one recurring theme that you'll see is that pretty much everything is very much a in process kind of thing. Some are more complete than others. Some are very visionary still. What that means is that we definitely need help. We need help. The network of apps that we have need help. So realistically, if there's something you're interested in, that you're passionate in, that you want to spend some time, whether that's 5 minutes or 5 hours a day to contribute, there will absolutely be something here for you to do. Things like driving great events so that we can connect with new people, building up that core team of people that are focused really on the Progressive Coders mission and building this community. Things like really working very effectively with our campaigns and with volunteers to just connect one another, connecting application owners with one another, increasing people's skills through the mentoring channel, through the code clinic channel, through one-on-one pair programming, through training, and anything really that you're interested in. I promise there's a place for you here, and there's also so many other things that we'll be building and looking for in the future. All right, so how do we actually operate ourselves? And I will share out the links, and the links are also available in the Trello for this very presentation. So don't worry if you didn't catch everything. The next couple slides are intended just to show what things are here, what's going on, how stuff works, or how we'd like to see stuff work eventually. So which one do we look at? We first look at onboarding, my favorite thing, onboarding process, right, Rafi? I've been bothering Rafi for quite some time on process, and he's graciously come to the dark side and understanding why things like process can be beneficial and can be important. One key thing that I've seen over and over again in movements like this is we get people, they're excited, they want to contribute, they want to be a part of the team, and they're there, but it's where you go, and then it's just completely unclear what that next step is. And so for me, the biggest thing that I focus on so far is exactly this. It's how do we build out that mechanism so that as people come in through, that we meet at meetups and social, online, through partners, whatever it may be, as we bring them in, how are we capturing and how are we working with them most effectively so that people are actually converted into contributing members, which is what we all here want to be. We want to contribute. We want to have a purpose and drive some impact. And so, again, it's absolutely not perfect yet. This is still very much a work in progress, and that's awesome. I think it's if everything was easy, it wouldn't be fun. So it's nice to have some stuff to keep doing. But anyway, so as people come in, as those new team members are identified, understanding through the sign-up sheet, and we'll get better with onboarding buddies and stuff like that to understand interest and skills of people, what you actually want to work on, where you can fit in most effectively, whatever that may be, whether you're a developer or a non-developer like myself. And that's one thing that I also mentioned is that right now, in the conversation last week was around can people who aren't developers contribute and fit in? The answer is absolutely 100% yes. In fact, we really need non-developers, project managers, stuff like that right now more than we have had. So anybody with any skill, I promise you there will be a place for you. As we understand the initial skills, providing this wonderful overview of everything. That's where we are right now. Hello, today. What we're working on, and again, if you're interested, let me know. We're working on building out onboarding buddies so that as we bring people on, we can connect them with other people and really help just continue to nurture the relationship in a more sustainable way, because unfortunately I am not great at juggling 500 or so people, but we want to make sure that we're connecting people, that we have a good place and a good contact for you to talk to, all that good stuff. Through the onboarding buddy, what they'll do is identify opportunities, identify ways that you can integrate into ongoing projects, based on your interest, based on your skill set, based on all that information. And then moving forward on consuming those onboarding materials, we have in the Trello board, this video, the deck, but a bunch of other stuff too. And we'll continue to build out the key information people need to actually onboard onto ProdCode. And then as we get more formalized, as we get more familiar and comfortable, then we'll move to introducing to a project through an onboarding buddy and actually contributing to the project. And with time, ideally, I think the goal is joining an individual project, becoming a core contributor to that, and then ultimately reporting out to the network of what you did and why it was awesome, and just great lessons learned that we can share and continue to improve upon. Next, we have our community engagement team. So this is something that we kicked off, and again, one just very important thing is that not that we just have the community, but also that we are continually engaged, that we're bringing in new people, that we are working with them. And so what we've done is identified some ways where if you're interested, both from a technical and non-technical perspective, but if you're interested in giving back to the community, we've created a community engagement team that we're currently working on piloting and building out. Do let me know if you're interested in that. But what that looks at are things like evangelizing, bringing in new members to ProdCode. Again, ProdCode is only as strong as the community. So both through online as well as in-person recruitment and just spreading the word of what we do here, getting other people excited. Also, event delivery. If you are interested in driving events and doing so under the ProdCode banner, as it were, things like online training, Q&A, pair programming, hackathons, meetups, whatever. These, again, are things that we are working on formalizing and doing a little bit more effectively. Mentoring and mentee, that's something that I'm very passionate about. We just kicked off the mentoring channel. So if you're interested in either learning something or helping other people learn, come check that out. Sign up for the sign-up sheet with whatever skills or contribution areas that you may have or be interested in. And then similar pair coding, we want to just match people with their mentors and mentees so that they can learn and learn new skills, technology, whatever it may be. From a channel lead perspective, if you're interested in a topic, very passionate about it, hey, if you want to create something cool, just put up a vote and community vote. We are very, very democratically driven, as Rafi said. We want to make sure that what we're doing is what the community wants, because we are a community through and through. So if there's a topic that you care about, just put out a vote, see if other people are interested in community vote, then go ahead and create that channel. The one ask is that if you do, that one becomes your baby. That's what you're just going to be responsible for, sort of making sure it grows and nurture it. And of course, we'll help, I'm sure, and be interested, but really want to make this as community driven as we possibly can. The onboarding buddy I already touched on, just helping those people that are new to ProdCode and working with partners, plugging them into different areas where they're successful answering questions, all that sort of stuff. And last and certainly not least, just keeping the engagement going in Slack, driving questions, working with people, just really just helping. That's what the community is. It's conversation. So just by being here, by even, and I say even lurking is absolutely valuable. But just in general, engaging on Slack and just really keeping that momentum going is just an awesome thing. Making sure to welcome new people as they join, an introduction, all that good stuff. Okie dokie. We have a lot of apps. And a lot more probably since I made this diagram, so I'll need to update this. But what I wanted to highlight here was just the core sort of functionality and offers that I see from the apps in a way to really understand what their purpose is and eventually how they will interconnect and work together. So from looking at sort of the end-to-end, oops, let me go back one. Looking at, I won't go through the specifics on all of these, but just looking at the end-to-end, how we go from initial data gathering, where everything flows, and what the specific purposes are of these different apps. So from that data to awareness and actually driving engagement through things like Politics Reborn or the progressive events or different other, quite a few map UIs that we have currently. One thing that I do absolutely want to touch on, the work that we do with Code Core, I'm not sure. as you think about Progressive Coders Network as the community, you should think about that spans across all this stuff that we do. You should think about Code Corps very similarly, in that what they are trying to do is connecting people with projects and driving people to actually contribute and organize all of that ongoing work. So this is one thing that we are very passionate about, working very closely with that team and integrating further and further so that we can just drive as seamless operations and execution as possible. And then finally, similar in National Voter File, Code Corps are run sort of from the same team. So National Voter File is intended to be an open source data warehouse where people, again, providing free information for campaigns and local issues to plug into, because we've seen just over and over again that one giant barrier to entry is that people do not have, they don't have the ability to get that information that they need to run a successful campaign. So that's what National Voter File aims to achieve. And with time, we would hope that these different apps that we have will be integrated with shared data and shared information, of course, in a way that protects the user and allows them to maintain data integrity and data rights, but having that one location instead of 90 million different disparate activities. Similar sort of thing, but this is much more focused on the specific person and how you take someone from a unaware state to through aware, engaged, and actually activist. Down here you'll see actually attending on the weekly calls, the regular calls that we have, just because the mere fact that all of you are here with us tonight, I consider you activists, so well done. You're doing more than posting on Twitter about blah, 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 whatever, and that is awesome. But of course, that's not a bad thing either. So what we look at is how we take people through our social channels that we have through Facebook and Twitter, how we drive them through from a very short activity down to longer length activities with very specific engagement, and also where the different apps that we have fit into this whole scheme so that we move people from left to right using these various channels and various items in order to do so. And then finally, I think, so this is just an example intended to show all of the stuff that we're trying to build, all the different groups and how they come together. So this example actually looks at what it would take to put a presentation in market at meetups and community events like that. All of the different key pieces that would be involved and how the Progressive Coders team needs to work with one another, work through the community. The intention ideally is that this work would then be captured actually through the work that Josh Smith is leading with Code Corps. But the idea of this specific use case for capturing or for driving presentation looks something like, we need to collect whatever key information there is that fills into an overview presentation that we would go deliver to the community. Making a really awesome design. I'm a shitty designer. I'm not a designer. Not even a shitty one, just not one. So making sure we have an awesome overview presentation, making sure it looks nice. Working with our audience outreach team to actually develop what that looks like. Capturing feedback from our evangelists, from our partners into that overview presentation. And ultimately, actually delivering the presentation to the community through our community evangelist teams. And then the goal here, of course, is that continual cycle where we bring on new ProgCode team members and partners and just keep the momentum of that community going and building. And again, this was just intended to show all of the pieces and parts of things that we're trying to build and the different activities that need to happen and why I think process is so important, really. All right, for the next for the next part here, I'm going to take a quick look at what are the different functions that we have that drive the Progressive Coders Network core team. What are the things we're working on? What are the key activities? And where can we potentially use some help from all you people or people that you know? All right, so the first one, these have been violently changed and shifted around since then, but just to give an idea. So audience outreach is obviously a very, very important, very important thing that we do. I call us coordinators. One thing that I do want to stress is that we are not hierarchically driven. more often than not. I think it can get in the way. Of course, it's important to have specifically know how to get things done, but I'm much more a fan of software tools and process rather than humans. I think humans cause a lot of human error that adds to issues. But anyways, from the core team side of things, we have Dan, who's been driving a lot of our audience outreach, so connecting with the community. Sort of some of the key goals are things like, right now, it's building up our strategy, building up our objectives, building up what we're doing through whichever different audience outreach ways, creating a lot of processes and strategies and all that good stuff. VG is, she's focused specifically on our partners. So all the network of apps that we have, the things that they're working on, the asks that they have, the latest and greatest in what they offer. She works on making sure that we can connect new people coming in with the network of apps so that they can continue to build on their efforts. Evangelism. Rapi has been literally traveling all over the world in a span of, I think, 3 days. He was in Europe, in Germany, and then he was down in DC, and then he was in New York, and he slept about 3 hours during that entire time. But he is, of course, the man behind the whole thing. But I think really the biggest thing that Rapi's been focusing on is really just growing out the network, getting our name out there, and really just showing the amazing work that we and that our network of apps have done so far. So this is one where we certainly could need somebody to look after how the different apps that we have actually integrate, how they work with one another, what that long-term vision is, so that we can integrate and make sure that we're driving as effectively as possible. One thing that I definitely want to mention is that for ProgCode, we ask absolutely nothing of our partners. There's no requirements. There's nothing that we're trying to push on people. Anything that we offer, we want it to be offered as a good service that will be a win-win for them and for us and for everybody. And so if people want to just operate completely independently, totally fine. But that said, we do want to make sure that we are thoughtful about how we have things come together, that we're thinking left to right on what all of the different apps and experiences that we have are, and that people can plug in and can work with one another as effectively as possible. Operations, that's me. Onboarding. Yeah, so just setting up the framework for how we actually operate, process, etc. Design stuff, as I mentioned, I am not a designer, so it would be awesome just to have somebody who can look after making sure that our public-facing display looks nice and is pretty and is on point. Again, it's somewhere Rapi is an amazing designer, but he's also, as I mentioned, traveling the world. So having somebody with that focus would be awesome. One thing that we do want to do from a central service side, both for this DevOps as well as I think this IT and next, is we want to offer our partners and offer the network of apps centralized services that they can utilize. And the idea here is not to necessarily do things that would step on toes, but rather, what are those common things that we need to provide that pretty much any technology is going to need? What are things that we can just do and solve once, and maybe they're already doing it? How can we centralize those things so that our network of apps and everybody can focus on the things that provide the most value for their applications, for their experiences, and that they can just get back to doing that. And so that's why, from just both a developer management as well as an IT, things like offering the infrastructure, offering single sign-on, those sort of things. And then finally, of course, for all of these things, just development who is interested in building out these tools, working with partners, and making all of this happen. And speaking of partners, next we're going to look at who are the partners, who is this network of apps that makes up ProgCode, what are they looking for, what are they trying to accomplish, all that good stuff. So first we have Social Roots with Anna, another Seattleite up here with me, also a advisory board member, so she's been helping us sort of make sure we're going in the right direction and thinking about the network of apps and the community in the right way. So Social Roots is really cool. It is a way that people can organize around issues, around campaigns, around whatever it may be, and drive centralized outreach for those. So things like making sure that we're calling your representatives, making sure that we're hitting them up on Twitter, writing into them, doing all sorts of stuff, just providing that centralized effort to drive grassroots movements. Political revolution, previously kind of Sanders for president, which I would imagine that many of you may have seen. They are, I would say they are much more of the community side of things. So working on spreading out the progressive movement in general. So we work very closely with them on how we get the message out there, how we bring other people in. And then they're also driving a number of different efforts, the Progressive Times in particular, through Progressive Coders Network right now. Carpool vote is awesome. Very simple. People need to get to polls. They do not have a way to get to polls, so we can connect those people and people that want to offer ways for people to get to polls. I could see a great opportunity in the future, perhaps, where this maybe becomes a way to also get people to other in-person engagements beyond just voting. Potentially, I don't know. I'm making that up. But anyways, just a really awesome and important app, and just it's evident of the amazing things that we have here. Carpool Vote, I believe, was really important in the Bernie campaign and connecting people and getting them to their polling locations. And so it's just amazing to see that continued evolution right here. Progressive events. So of course we have the transportation, but where are we going? So looking at what the different the different local events are that are near you, where you can engage, where you can show up, and where you can make good stuff happen. Brand New Congress, I'm sure you guys have most likely heard of them. Basically very, very easy, straightforward goal of all of our House of Representatives and Senate is our Congress is garbage, so we want to get rid of all of them and replace them. What I really love about Brand New Congress specifically is that it's under one unified. Their strategy is to recruit candidates to run under one unified platform. Something really unique. It speaks just very well to the whole progressive movement, to what we're doing here. And it's very excited. I love that Brand New Congress, even when you go to their website and you hit the technology, it actually links you directly to our Slack channel. So we are obviously work very closely with them and their team here. Code Corps, I mentioned a number of times already. They have a Slack channel here as well. Basically, they're trying to build the tools that manage and enable software projects for social good. Josh and team are very active in the Prog Code Slack channel, and just such an important effort that I highly recommend checking out if you are interested in that sort of thing. Grassroots PB. Grassroots PB, again, was a very, very prominent system during the Bernie campaign, intended to, and following actually, intended to connect callers with on specific issues and provide the leaderboard for how many calls people have made, all that sort of stuff. It's really cool, actually. Right now, they're working on what the evolution of this app looks like, just pretty much actively right in Slack right now. So an amazing time to get involved, and if you're interested in seeing how you can contribute and help shape the future of what this offer is. Issue Voter is really cool. Issue Voter allows us to see who our representatives are and compare what we care about with what they care about, so that we can actually see, are they representing you? And if not, maybe we need to get on that phone your rep and hit them up and let them know that we're not going to stand for it. Movement app is another one out of Josh, because he, like Roppy, I would guess, doesn't ever sleep. Movement is intended to provide all the tools that you need in one place to enable people to run campaigns, again, getting that influence of money out of politics once and for all. National Voter File. It's been really amazing seeing the activity in National Voter File the last couple of days, especially the last couple of weeks, really. This I mentioned a number of times already is that that central data store. They now have a website, so I can move away from just diagrams, although I like the diagrams. National Voter File is intended to just aggregate all voter information into one place so that campaigns and issues can utilize it more effectively. It's been, as I mentioned, really cool seeing the incredible activity happening in that channel the past couple weeks. Definitely recommend checking that one out, especially if you are a data nerd. And Not Me Us is a hub that looks at what people's issues are, how they're like one another instead of opposed to one another. And then Our Revolution, I'm sure you've heard of. It's the next generation of what Bernie's movement was intended, and they've been focusing on different issues and how people can take action. Again, it's just a great way to highlight how just closely intertwined we are to so many different prominent efforts and just very important technologies and movements within the progressive arm of things. And Politics Reborn as one that our own VG is driving, intended to enable local community organization and attach people to events and how they can just show up and make a difference in their local area. And then Represent Me. Represent Me is really cool. Ed is very active in our Slack channel as well. He has a Represent Me app, which allows people to poll people and see what they agree on and just build a back-end information. The intention there is that representatives would use this and already do somewhat in the UK. Representatives would use this to find out what their constituents care about and then take action accordingly. We're working on a number of very interesting things with Ed right now, specifically the Everyone Vote app that we just started kicking off conversations. So that's in that Everyone Vote channel, where we're looking at a front end that will make it even easier for people to supply this information, potentially a Tinder-style upfront UI, which would then go and feed this as well as feed National Voter File potentially. Oh, and then we have a bunch of other stuff that is in production right now. I won't go into huge detail of this because there are a number of other things that are still going on, and probably another 10 or 15 that I would need to add to this list. But just the idea is that ideas are born here and they grow here and they live here. If you have an idea, if you have something that you're passionate about, make sure to check out Pitch Zone, or just let us know. Feel free to message Robbie or I or whomever else, Dan or VG, I'm sure also. Always excited to take your message. And properties. So how are we actually making all of this happen? So the first one, Slack, I would imagine that everyone is familiar with already, but Slack is sort of the initial place where people go to make craziness happen, and then from craziness we get to some sort of organized output. So this is where we have just our central community. This is where we work with one another. This is where we decide and figure out which technologies are going to change the face of our planet. Work management, we actually just released a public-facing Trello that we have for looking at key information, for looking at different ways that you can contribute, and the different projects that we have going on. So that will be included in that message that I sent everybody, and also it will be in this deck here if I update it. How we communicate with third parties. So the first way that we have is through our Progressive Coder Medium blog. We're also kicking off efforts on just trying to get more concerted effort on doing some writing, especially of editorial and opinion-based pieces. So if anybody is interested in spending some time behind the keyboard, letting the world know what you think, do let us know. And we're also social, Facebook, Twitter. You have heard of them, I am sure. And then third-party video. Rocky has done an amazing job of making sure that all of our content and everything that we have is up on YouTube and visible, so that if you miss a meeting, if you are unable to attend, if you want to learn more about the different projects going on, we have those available up in our YouTube channel. And then, of course, our website, the front door to the world. If you are promoting ProgCode, just have them go to progcode.co. Um, there they can join us in Slack or watch some of our videos and other stuff. We're currently working on a revamp somewhat of what we're doing. And then what are the key resources? I think I'm almost done. The Proud Code strategy, the project list, community guidelines of how we operate here, and this deck here, which is fairly meta. And we didn't do a personal story this week, so I'll skip that one. So that is it, I think. So I'd love to I've been talking for a while. I've shared a lot of information. I would love to just hear from other people on their thoughts of everything. Just a quick introduction for yourself, what you're interested in, if there's any questions you have, that sort of thing. So I am going to call on, let's go alphabetically. That works better. So I think Alex Rush. You want to give us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll hit up Chad Cassidy following.
Okay, can people hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm a graduate student at Cornell. I study sociology, but I'm also getting a minor in social informatics. But one of my areas is social movements and political sociology. So I'm pretty interested in political polarization and how social movements form. I'm taking a lot of classes now in computer programming, and one of the things that attracted me to this was basically how you can develop tools, like you were saying, to circumvent a lot of the issues related to like super PACs and money, or to make the political process unfold a little bit more easily for people, depending on what their goals are.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, and I love the sociology background. Very awesome, and excited to have you with us, Alex. How about you, Chad? Oh, hello. We see you now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, there we go. Oh, I clicked the right button. That's glorious. Hello, my name is Chad. I'm a coder by trade, Slacker musician from Seattle. And back last year, I saw some of the stuff that Bernie's campaign was coming out with, particularly that little thing that showed you how to caucus. That was superb. We put in your zip code and it would get everything. I thought that was super slick, and I was like, man, that's what I want to do with my life. Lo and behold, I actually was put in touch with socialroots.io and then with this organization. And so I'm looking forward to seeing where I fit in.
Awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. And it's always good to have more Seattleites here. We have an awesome Washington channel for any of the other of our Pacific Northwesterners. So we have Colin or Dave, whoever gets off mute first.
All right, I guess I win. Let's see, live in New York. I work in teaching people how to take the GMAT curriculum development. Recently got a master's in education and social policy, and decided to celebrate graduating by getting completely distracted by politics. And so I think, I'm trying to figure out how to build on the work that I've done so far, continue developing project management side, happy to just see where I fit in.
Good man, Dave. It's awesome to have you here. All right, how about you, Colin?
Hey, I'm Colin. I am a software engineer in DC. I actually work at a political consulting company, looking to, help out where I can with some causes that can't afford that sort of thing. So, looking to see what kind of interesting stuff is that needs help with here.
Good deal, and I promise you there will be plenty of opportunity ahead for you. We have Elizabeth or Evan, whoever gets off mute first.
Hi, if I guess I'll go. Hi, I'm Evan. I'm a junior computer science student at Gonzaga. That's in Spokane, Washington. And I've been like a web and mobile developer for the last couple of years. I run sort of a small contracting company here, and I worked a couple places in Boise. I kind of consider programming as something that should be used to help people. And like one of my first projects was a mobile app to help people with panic disorder and PTSD. And that did really well. And that kind of cemented my mindset of trying to help people with programming. And so I'm just here to help and try and learn things and improve my abilities.
Good deal. Good deal. Thank you, sir. And the Washington contingent is strong. I love it.
Yes.
What's that app, man?
It's called Panic Pop.
Panic Pop?
I'll link it in the Panic Pop. It's an Android app for like helping people get through a panic attack. Because oftentimes when people were having panic attacks, your mind will get stuck in this sort of loop of death of like, oh God, I'm going to die, which then makes you feel more like it. And so it just kind of traps you. And Panic Pop's mentality is that it forces you to be in the game and not focus on anything else. And it requires your complete attention. And so it gets you out of the panic cycle.
Right. That's also what I code.
Oh yeah, that's the same thing that I do too. It's kind of what I based around.
Awesome. That's great stuff. That's great stuff. How about Elizabeth or KBC?
Hello.
Hey, Elizabeth.
So I'm a university student at the University of Oregon. I'm getting my master's in computer science. Mainly, I'm focused in computer security, but I've also lately been branching into data science, and particularly interested in machine learning and data mining.
Nice.
So I'm hoping to use my skills to help out with the progressive cause, basically. So I kind of, this election result was a wake-up call for me. It's time to stop sitting back and not working on stuff. So, and hopefully I'll also learn new things as well.
Good deal, good deal. And yes, I think the machine learning and all that data side of stuff is just one of the most valuable fields that you can get into, and absolutely something that's going to be pivotal to our long-term success. So thank you for getting involved. Very excited to have you with us, Elizabeth. Let's see, do we have a KBC or Mike next?
I can jump in. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Great. I am Mike. You'll have to forgive the no video. It's going to be a pajamas only kind of Thanksgiving break.
Dude, pajamas was not a prerequisite to me delivering this meeting. So,
I am a Tulsa-based sort of odd man out here. Not a coder. Actually got involved with the Progressive Coders Network through the Progressive Times. So I am a writer. I have a MFA in fiction. And I work for an educational nonprofit helping kids with reading and literacy. I think that hits the main points. I'm pretty excited to kind of find ways to help the sort of messaging and outreach side of things. I think is where I can be helpful, perhaps generating content. So point me in that direction, please. Thank you.
Good deal, man. That direction is right my way. So it's good to have you in this camp. All right. How about KBC, and if not KBC, Preston? I see that you're eager and ready to go there.
Hey, so my name is Preston. I live in Owensboro, Kentucky, unfortunately. But there's a pretty big progressive group actually in Kentucky and in Owensboro that's kind of popping up. So we're getting a couple of different things going around town. So I'm not a coder by trade, or do I know a lick of code? I think I can make something say hello in CSS thanks to Treehouse. But I have a passion for when it comes to cloud computing and small businesses and kind of a cloud service brokerage type industry, if you will, if that makes sense. But by trade, I just left my last position as the director of customer success for a tech startup based out of Dublin called TempBuddy. It's actually pretty cool. To get more involved in the campaign, I helped with the Bernie campaign. I was on the call team, and I was a data pilot in the texting team, and I helped with Brand New Congress when we first started with them, and as well as our revolution and so forth. So when it comes to progressive coders, I stumbled upon it through Facebook, I believe, and some Slack channels like with the Solidarity Network and so forth. And my interest with the group is to, if you will, to help the non-coder side of things. So the operations and recruitment, and whether it be development or partnerships. I did a lot of work with like channel partners and stuff like that, and channel partner departments with what I've done with as a customer success director and business development a team member with TempBuddy. So anything as far as that goes that I can do, I'm here. Use me. So that's where we're at.
Sweet. Good deal, Preston. And yes to all that. Feel free to hit me up on Slack there if you're interested. I imagine there's lots of good stuff we can do together. All right. So I think KBC, we still have you. And if not KBC, then Sam.
Hello?
Ew.
Everybody hear me?
Yes, sir. Hey, KBC.
Hi, how's it going? I'm Ron. I'm a freelance developer in the Bay Area. I found my way here by trying to help with one of the issues on the Brand New Congress GitHub. And it didn't seem like there was like super fast activity there. So I found my way here to the Slack channel. And yeah, so my interest is kind of Brand New Congress, but I'm open to other stuff too.
Good deal. And there's plenty of Brand New Congress in column A, and plenty of other stuff in column B. So I think we'll be able to help you out there. Good stuff. So how about Sam? It looks like you're ready to go.
This is a quick mic check.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
All right. So I'm Sam Frank. I'm out of Chicago. I actually just started the Chicago channel in the Slack. I just wanted to quickly shout out and say a thank you to all of you guys who've already started this and have been working so hard on it. It's amazing to see these things already out there to just join up and start working. I have my own group out of Chicago, Blue Boost. We talked a little bit about it earlier. And we're looking to offer help to organically driven campaigns. We feel right now there's a lot of energy around the progressive movement. There's a lot of people doing a lot of work already, and we're just helping give them a voice and digital infrastructure to get what they want done. So we're eager to get working. We've already got a couple projects in progress.
Good deal. And are you involved with the Chicago Hack Night they have going on?
No, I heard about it recently. I haven't connected with that group though. I was out of 1871 for a while, which is our big tech incubator in Chicago. But it's been a couple years since I've been in there, and that's where most of the energy is these days. So I'll have to try and find my way back. I'm a professional product manager, and so they keep us tied down pretty tightly from wandering over to the tech startup world.
Of course. Yeah, it's yeah, there you go, Robbie. Yeah, home of National Voter File. And so a couple of people we have that are very active in our Slack community, Bengal, B-E-N-G-A-L, and also Lingwei, L-I-N-G-W-E-I. And I'll pop this in the chat as well. But they're both awesome people. And for anyone who's in that Chicago area, I imagine they would just love talking with you. All right. How about Spiro or Tanya to finish things off?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hey, Tanya. Yes, indeed.
Okay. Yay. Cool. I'm from Chicago too. Yay, Chicago.
Nice.
Uh-oh. Into the top of my head. Hi. Okay. It took me like half the damn talk to figure out how to download this thing. So I joined the
it's a work in progress for all of us.
Cool. I'm an engineer. in oil and gas. I did combustion for a while, went to some factories in New York. They're very cold in the winter and very fucking hot in the summer. And the biggest factory in Southern California, which uses more gas than the entire rest of all of their customers combined, actually. So there's still steel. It's still good in America, especially with the natural gas prices. But I had to leave that field to take care of my mom, who is dying of Alzheimer's disease. But that means I have lots of time to sit on my computer and do stuff with you guys now. I'm now a coder. I did data science for a little bit and do back-end work now and have joined the National Voter File thing after I met Ben at Chicago Hack Night last week. Yay. Okay, that's it.
Awesome deal. Thanks, Tanya. And sorry to hear about your mom. That is just the shittiest of all shitty ways to go. And so that's awesome of you to help her out there and hope everything works out as well as possible for you guys in that terrible situation. And then, and last we have Spiro, if you are around. Otherwise, we have made it to the end of the list. And so I'll check to see if Spiro gets off mute and wants to there to say hello. Oh, there's Spiro. Spiro's computer mic doesn't work and is too lazy to call. Fair enough, fair enough. My latest pro-democracy coding is encapsulated in votersrevenge.org. Oh, I love that. But I've temporarily suspended work on it, need to get a job, so I need to fix another site study. Man, jobs are such a burden. One day we'll be able to take this progressive code stuff and do away with all of our jobs just so we can focus on this 24/7. Not quite there yet, but we'll get there eventually. So that concludes the main portion of the call here. Absolutely incredible to have all you guys to hear about your experiences. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, indeed, always dreaming. I'm going to hang on for a moment if anyone has any questions, if you just want to chat. Otherwise, feel free to take off and have an awesome Thanksgiving. Unless, Rafi, do you have any closing words you would like to say to the group here?
Bye, everyone. I am envious of you because you have received a message from Progbot. So, can you send me a screenshot of Progbot messaging you? But whatever. Yeah, it's been great. Thanks, Joe. This was awesome.